Primarily, the proposed regulation focuses on where we're allowed to operate and hours for operation. So it's to protect residential areas, to create a buffer zone between food trucks and residences, which we agree with. It also limits our hours of operations, that we have to shut down by 4 a.m. in specific zones and 11 p.m. in other zones, or shut down if the business we're in front of shuts down earlier, we have to shut down along with them. So whereas today the current ordinance allows us to operate 24/7 on private property, the new regulation actually reduces that significantly and still requires all of those permits.
And I'm hesitant to ask you about your feelings.
Well, I shall reserve my feelings for other times. As a business owner, I can tell you, I ran restaurants for a long time. I worked with Steed Restaurant Group that runs Fazoli's, and we never had these many hoops to jump through. We'd go apply for our permits once a year. We'd usually do them by mail, get it back before the first of the year, and we were good to go. And with the food truck industry, I had the idea of selling these chicken burgers on the street and had no idea the quagmire I got myself into. And the food truck operators in town, we were all trying to participate in the task force. And the problem that came up was we had a lot of different voices and there were a lot of different opinions. So council members actually asked us to form an association so we could consolidate that voice and consolidate an opinion. And that's where I stepped up and formed the Bluegrass Food Truck Association.
Well, I mean, at this juncture, do you feel like there's just been some interpretive changes, or?
I do. To use an analogy I use a lot of time in the Army, it feels like every time we get within 10 yards of the goalpost moves 20 yards back.
Okay.
So we just can't seem to get, every time we think we've got the rules figured out and we finally start getting our permits, somebody else interprets the rules different and starts denying permits. And it's because it's all in policy and interpretation, we have no recourse other than to shut down.
I think